What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Banter here, back in with a delicious video, and today we're going to be watching another video by my boy Derek FTB. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The Scariest Kids Show. I'm presuming he's going to be talking about Courage the Cowardly Dog. In this video, but of course I saw the video and I thought, you know what, why not? Let's take a break from the indie wrestling low blow compilation for a bit and expand to something else, you know. But of course, with all being said, it's 12 minutes long. Let's hop straight into the delicious content.
So the other day I made a video talking about some shows I loved as a kid, and reminiscing on all those old shows that brought joy to me reminded me of one.
Gravity Falls, bro. Gravity Falls is my favorite show. I would never stop. I would never stop loving it. I really hope they come back with Gravity Falls, man. I really hope they make a comeback.
It brought fear to me. I know everything scared me as a kid, but this was different, okay? Because this show not only scared me, but it also scared millions. And that show was Courage the Cowardly Dog. If you never watched this show, what's wrong with you? Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be going over Courage the Cowardly Dog.
One of my favorite Cartoon Network shows.
The scariest episodes from the show. And in the end, I'll go over the scariest Courage episode I've ever watched. So y'all know the drill. Grab your popcorn, get your stuffed animal, and try not to. First episode I'm starting with.
Nice try.
Discontent. I'm gonna let y'all know now.
I ain't gonna lie, my soul felt it though.
I just leave my living room. Straight up.
Let me pause. I ain't gonna lie, when he did that phrase jump scare, my soul did felt it for a second. So yeah. We out here.
This episode starts with us seeing my boy Courage and his family trying to plant a flower in the middle of the night. I ain't no gardener, but is that optimal? And since they live in the literal middle of nowhere, which is pretty much a desert, it don't want to grow. They even tried doing some seance to help, but nothing. And it ain't a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode without Eustace complaining. He starts saying he's done trying to plant stuff, that he's never trying again. I mean, how many times did y'all try for y'all to be doing these seances and blood sacrifices and stuff? We then come back to the crib and see Muriel doing dishes. You know, chilling, scrub-a-dub-dubbing, when she hears a voice telling her to get out. And Mio thought it was just her age. She thought she was senile. But no, it was real. The kitchen drawers and utensils and food start going everywhere. Looked like it was a poltergeist in the crib. Even Eustace wasn't safe. Before he could hop in the bath, the bathroom wall started breaking down. Water going everywhere. Look at Eustace cry. What could have been causing this? Well, after they fall into the basement of the house, Courage, Eustace, and Muriel look up to see a giant floating head. This is the spirit of the harvest moon, and he used to scare the boo-boo out of me as a kid. He always reminded me of an evil version of the floating head from Power Rangers. Is it just me? And it actually
I'm sorry, but when I saw that head, and yet again, it did remind me of that floating head. Which obviously, yet again, I didn't even know the floating head's name because I didn't watch that Power Rangers. I didn't get to watch the first original one that was in America. But yeah, it reminded me of that head. I was like, you know what? At that point, it's not even scary at this point. It just reminded me of Power Rangers so much that it just wasn't scary. But the fact it scared him is insane.
Scarred me. The dark eyes or lack of eyes, his glowing white skin, and there was something about his face being saggy that just threw me off. No joke, he's in my top 5 scariest spirits on TV, right below Cole from Avatar. That do terrifying. He's here.
No, that was actually terrifying.
Get out! Why? Because Eustace doesn't respect the land they live on. Come on. Now why we gotta punish everyone for one dude's mistake? That ain't fair. I used to hate when they did that in school. Off topic, but I remember back in high school, I was on the track team for like a month. And this one time we were running a 5K, which was already horrible. That's like 3 miles. And when we finished, one of the captains told us we had to run it again. All because this one kid in the back was just running too slow. Man, we were all pissed at him. And the kid felt really bad about it. Like, really bad. Even I feel bad looking.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna pause it right here just to say this real quick. I'm very sorry for pausing it too much. You know, I'm trying my best not to. But low-key, I have a similar situation where I literally remember I was in, well, it's similar, but it's not the same as it is. But I remember being that kid in school who always held up the class when we were taking notes all together. When we were taking notes all together, and the teacher, I remember Mr. Summers, he had a whole little prompt, a projector, where he was having to take notes, and I would be taking my sweet ass time just to gather all the notes while everybody was like, yo man, can we just continue, man? Like, man, he taking up, like, he taking too much time, man. let's just say I was always that kid who was a little bit slow at getting all the notes down before moving on to the next little what plastic thingy he wrote all his notes on. But hey, that's just a similar situation to me. And I feel bad for that, but at the same time, I don't control how fast my brain processes information. Okay, I just doing my best. I was doing my best.
Back on it now because we jumped the out of him after practice. The spirit.
Oh, wow. Okay, crazy work. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, we're back.
It does give them a chance though. He tells them they can stay in their home if they manage to grow a plant. Okay, that's not that bad. By midnight. This is another one of those things that scared me in this episode. They're expected to revive a dead plant by midnight, and it's 11:50. I'm like 8 years old watching this. My mind immediately goes to what if this guy was in my crib? I don't know how to grow a plant in 10 minutes. I don't know how to grow a plant, period.
Okay, in real life, oh, sorry again. I just want to say this. In real life, you cannot grow a plant that fast, so technically they would have been dead either way.
Even no division yet? I knew if he spawned in my crib, it would have been rapture. I mean, even these dudes barely made it out. Because Eustace was still refusing to even try to plant. So Courage does what he normally has to do and tries to save his family. And he was putting out all the stops on this plant, giving it light, serenading it, a blood transfusion. Nothing was working. See, he messed up. He ain't giving mouth to mouth. Courage tries to run inside and use a leaking valve for water.
Wait, how the fuck you gonna get mouth to mouth? You know what?
Practically melting their house, so the water turned into sand. But Courage had one more idea. He takes advantage of the heat and uses Eustace's sweat to water the plant. And it works. The plant grows. Eustace takes all the credit for it, but the spirit was satisfied. See, this one wasn't that bad because it had a good ending, but I can't say the same for the rest of it. Next one is... just off the name alone, you know it's gonna be something weird. Now,
okay, yeah, this one was kind of freaky, but not too crazy. I got easily used to it.
Uneasy.
Well, to be honest, it was scary when it was dark, but once the light was out, it wasn't as bad.
Talking about how naughty he is. What the? This dude is Fred, Muriel's nephew. And I already know I'm gonna get jokes, but he really makes me grateful for my niece and nephew. Because this dude is weird. According to Eustace, he's a freak. Not that kind. Eustace says he's a freaky guy who owns a freaky barbershop where he does who knows what, but it's probably freaky. And Eustace was something we could finally agree on. Says he doesn't want that freak anywhere near his home. Yeah, I don't blame you. Because when we finally see how this dude looks, oh my goodness. Y'all know me. I hate to judge off appearances. Even in this show, they taught us not to judge a book by its cover. Remember that one episode with the super ugly hunchback dude? He was chopped, but he was cool people. But this dude, he may not have the hunchback, but he got that mad scientist hair, lanky, slender arms. Are his eyes green?
No, it's a smile.
And the worst thing off his appearance was his smile. Oh my.
Yes.
Every time he saw
the smile was the worst.
Courage,
you already knew he was up to no good.
Courage like that. He always revealed those janky teeth. I mean, no surprise there. They said he's British. But come on, bro. Looks like you be chewing on cinder blocks and smoking cigarettes for a living. Big smile too, looking like he swallowed a whole watermelon.
Shut up,
but his smile wasn't the only thing that was off about him. We also know he's a barber, and there ain't nothing inherently wrong with being a barber. You know, there's different passions in the world. Some people like making art, making music, making food. I mean, bro, I come from a race of people who can be three things: a baseball player, a deadbeat father, or a barber. So it's perfectly fine with me if someone likes cutting hair. But Fred, he really likes cutting hair, to the point where it seems like it's some sort of fetish or kink for him. I'm not even joking either. I understood this as a kid watching this. They played that creepy, cheerful music when he was fantasizing or reminiscing on cutting hair. During his flashbacks, you would see him get all geeked to see hair. Like, bro, he's sweating from excitement. You know how excited you gotta be for it to make you nervous? This ain't regular. And once I heard him say that line about how he gets in a certain mood, I knew what kind of stuff he was on. That episode ends with Fred getting arrested after Courage gets trapped in the bathroom with him, of all places. Trapped in the bathroom with a random relative. Not a vibe. And he shaves off all of Courage's hair, leaving a message on Courage's butt. With love, Fred. Yeah,
no, that's freaky.
Floating white
that was zesty, if you will. I ain't gonna lie, this one was creepy as hell. I low-key will agree with him on this one. If he said this is one of the most creepiest episodes, like literally hands down the creepy, hell, this might even be hands down the creepiest one. I don't know why, because even when I watched it during the day, it just felt so creepy. It felt weird. Like, it's not as bad now that I've grown up and I've seen it a few times back then, but still, It was very off-putting when I watched it the first time. It was very off-putting.
This is the one that made me and everyone else who watched this show growing up have nightmares. Like, I don't remember
Yes.
the first time I peed myself, but I do remember the last time, and it was when I watched this episode.
I didn't pee while watching this. I was just about to
It
scream.
opens up and we're in the middle.
Like, I
of
literally
this
had to cover my
just
mouth.
desperate or bored
I was
and
about to
gotta be
scream
somewhere
from
to the middle of nowhere. There could
from
be
start
someone
to
getting robbed in
finish.
your
The
city
moment
right
I
now.
seen the
Like
creature,
NYC
I was like,
takeout.
no,
Priorities
hell
all
no.
messed up. The people or animals, I should say, being chased are these two cats. Y'all always putting cats in the stuff, trying to say
Is it a
something.
cat?
And why are they being chased? Well,
Honestly, I think
apparently
it's a cat
they
too,
had
so
a
I'm
right
gonna
to
go
be
with
this
it.
Desperate, because these two stole a precious artifact, and this thing must have been very precious. Because one of the
Yep.
cats gets the bright idea to bury it out of fear of being caught with it. I don't really see the point in this. Like, was it weighing y'all down? You're in a car. That freaking 2-foot hat you got on.
I didn't think
weighing
about
down
it.
more. But whatever this thing they were burying was, it must have had some bad juju on it or something. Because the second these two cats get back in the car and are about to take off, the road becomes foggy. A mysterious figure appears, and they get packed up. Yeah, some bugs spawned in, surrounded their car, and they were gone. Like, who's responsible for this? Shino? Conveniently though, where these two cats, RIP, buried this artifact was right across the street from Courage's crib, where we see the next morning, Courage digs it up. See, this is why we feel bad for Courage at some point. He been through too much to still be doing all this curiosity stuff. He brings the thing he dug up back to Eustace and Muriel, and we all know Eustace's miserable self never liked anything new in his life, so he immediately throws it out. But while Longchin,
I just thought about that. Ain't this
Courage,
hold on. I just remember. Is this the one where it was like, return the slab? I'm pretty sure he was the. This creature was the one that was like, return the slab.
The news comes on the TV
I'm pretty sure
about this priceless artifact that was stolen by these two criminals. I'm sorry, I know this is off topic, but what's up with all these dudes having the syndrome chin? Turns out though, the artifact that these dudes stole was not trash like Eustace said. It was actually priceless, worth millions. And Eustace may be a miserable old man, but he truly is a paper chaser. Cause moolah,
he understood.
Money was involved. He went
money's involved.
But this was a mistake because Eustace wanted to keep the slab was triggering something in it. Something dark. Luckily though, this ginger mustache fellow comes by to retrieve the slab and stop this potential thing from being triggered. And you know Courage was in full agreement. He started hitting
he's smart.
Eustace starts asking the dude how much bread he's trying to offer for the slab. And unfortunately for Courage, this dude wasn't offering any money. Just a tote bag. Like what the... Do I look like a Midtown Manhattan girl? Eustace declines, but I would have taken that tote bag a million times over what came next. Because later that night, while
but at the same time, they didn't know
all the things he'd buy with the money. They hear the door rap.
The way he saw it, it was all about the money.
What's going on? And this moment right here is what traumatized me, you, your brother, your mama, and anyone else who watched this show. Eustace goes to check what's happening and sees this thing, this 3D 4K resolution, 3 strands of hair having mummy. Yo, I can't explain to y'all how unsettling it was watching this as a kid. I mean, look at his chin. Mind you, this was playing the latest, like 5 p.m. But it still terrified me so much I'd have to cover my eyes. I don't know if it was his voice, the whole
yeah,
with his body.
But no, low key, when I was a kid and I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? I literally was like shocked. Like I literally covered my mouth and I was like, what the fuck? Yo, I didn't know what to say in this moment. I was just dead. I was dead silence, to be honest. Honestly, I was dead silence. I didn't even say anything, honestly. I just covered my mouth and I just stared at it and I was like, it's like that moment of shock where it's like, what the fuck is this?
Pause. Or both. But this dude was too much. He tells Eustace if he doesn't,
he was hella creepy.
And visited by 3 plagues, each getting worse than the last. Oh my goodness, just give me the heebie-jeebies remembering it. But Eustace don't care about that. He then starts asking the mummy how much he gonna pay for the slab. And the mummy straight up ignores Eustace asking it, which y'all know what that means. Broke boy, you ain't nothing but a broke boy. Eustace slams the door and that mummy did not waste time. He immediately starts flooding their home, from the basement to the first floor to the attic. Look at Eustace, had enough time to grab a freaking snorkel before he even thought about helping his wife. Courage thankfully swims to the basement.
I'm be honest, that snorkel was not doing anything.
The next plague was ear screeching music. And this one may not have sounded like a big deal to me when I was a kid because all early 2000s music was great. But in 2025, this would be horrible. Imagine Cardi B blasting out like 210 decibels. Oh my goodness, that'd be torture. Courage eventually finds a solution.
Okay, oh my god, I thought he was about to do it.
Didn't want to give up the dang slab. With Eustace
Like,
still
bruh,
not complying came the third play.
Please.
King Ramsey aside, this is the scariest part of this episode. The third plague was a swarm of bugs. I know some of y'all right now are like, oh seriously? Bugs are scary? Yes, they are. Have y'all seen how a swarm of bugs looks? Look.
Yeah, that's gross.
Locusts too.
In real life,
It's
yeah,
like
but in the
Hitler.
cartoon, it's like,
they
okay,
did
that's
to
cool.
Those two cats, R.I.P., ravaged through everything. And Eustace with no other choice.
Oh, yeah,
it's time to let go of the slab. So Courage takes it and tosses
Yeah,
it.
just I thought it was one of them.
Stops. Everything's okay. It's looking like a happy ending. But Eustace had to go and mess it up. Since all the plagues were over, he tells the mummy he don't got any more tricks left in his bag. So technically, the slab is his, which sounds smart. But then you remember, he can just run it back. The episode ends with Courage and chilling in the broken crib. Eustace now trapped in the same slab that he was feeding. I think there's a metaphor.
Damn.
There, I don't really.
Got packed up.
All the Courage episodes I found really scary, at least as a kid. As an adult, the scariest ones are definitely the Butcher Pig one and the Perfection one. Ugh, in my skin crawl. Comment down below the ones you guys found
I didn't
scariest.
see that one.
And before you go, I'm also thinking about doing a confessions video. I've seen some people I enjoy watching do the same with their
Degenerosity, Black Boy, Max.
Leave a little Google form to fill out in the comments.
I'm pretty sure I fucked that up. Who knows?
Chill out. It's anonymous, so no need to worry about waking up to banging on your door at 2:52 a.m. So yeah, fill it out, pretty please.
Unless
and moral of the story. We jumped the frick out of him after practice.
Okay, that was a good video. It definitely did reminisce a little bit on my childhood right there when I watched Courage the Cowardly Dog. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bruh. That show was goated. I ain't gonna lie. It was creepy at times, but it was definitely a good show to watch. But of course, with all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that sexy jazz, and please make sure to take good care of yourselves. And I'll catch you all next time, okay? Deuces.